Yeah, hello everybody. Hopefully it's going to smoothly take me into my PowerPoint and that you can all hear me okay. You'll also spot I've kind of got a double in the Keith from my team. We've got the same clothes and the same background, so that makes it easy to spot us. He's actually working in your area. The reason for me doing this presentation will become clear as we carry on. But yeah, my name's Jenny Royal. I am the Expansion Legacy Officer for the ATA team, which sounds a bit grand. So basically, in terms of a school focus, it's a bit like being a second in department, and that is my history. So I've come from teaching English in a secondary school, and I also was a sustainability lead. So really get where you're coming from, and have been in your shoes as well if you are a teacher working on things like this. What I'm going to run through, it sounds like quite a lot, and I'm going to talk quite a lot about the Active Travel Ambassadors, which is what the ATA behind me stands for, to start off with after I've done sort of the introductions. We are very much an 11 to 18 in secondary school program, as you know, because Keith's already interested in that. But I did want to include everybody, so I'm going to mention as well the Modeshift Styles of School Travel Plans, which is for all ages of education, and also our Active Travel Inspectors resource, which is mostly for primary schools, although possibly could be used in other contexts as well. So yeah, we always start team mode shift, and what we do, this is our sort of mission statement, that we believe that communities are healthier, wealthier and more inviting when people are given the opportunity to walk, wheel, ride and use their public transport for everyday journeys. So you can see the healthier bit there is probably the air quality reference, and the focus on the travel modes is your sustainability focus particularly. Apple works with us in terms of mode shift, sort of like practical things in Suffolk, and we'll kind of like be talking more Suffolk specific, and I'm talking sort of like very generally about mode shift that operates across the country. So, and also just to give you a little bit of a wider context as well, obviously I'm working with the education team in schools, but Modeshift does work in lots of different settings, creating travel plans, supporting, inspiring and championing individuals and organisations to improve those everyday journeys. So that's in hospitals, in the NHS, with healthcare, in leisure settings, in business, in residential as well. But obviously I'm going to focus on schools. I've stolen a little slide from our session resources here, as I'll tell you a bit about more in a little while. But that kind of like link between active travel and sustainability, I found that students didn't get that very often so much. So they were very keen on things like solar panels and recycling, but didn't think about active travel and its link to sustainability quite so obviously. But in that slide, as well as the mental health, physical health benefits, for example, the social benefits as well, we do talk about the reduction in air pollution very much. But we also in our slides have a whole slide just to give the impact in terms of carbon footprint and carbon emissions that school travel has. And there was a really helpful report recently. You can get sort of secondary and primary and send school specific data, but overall you get that figure of 40% of a school's carbon footprint being from transport related activities. That includes trips and staff commutes and things like that as well. 21% of that on average is the pupil school run alone. So if you're looking to reduce carbon emissions in school, and I'll talk a little bit about carbon action plans later, climate action plans, sorry, later on. But it's a really key part of that sort of sustainability role, which I know from experience involves having your fingers in lots and lots of different pies and pots. So on to Active Travel Ambassadors. Got your lovely photo there, Keith, and also you'll get these slides afterwards. So you've got Keith's email address there. Keith, you might want to stick it in the chat for us as well. But Keith is our coordinator for the Active Travel Ambassador Programme within your area. So the Active Travel Ambassadors Programme, I mean, I'm going to say ATA from now on, is for secondary school pupils only. So it's 11 to 18, and it's really looking at a gap in the market, really. There's lots and lots of initiatives out there for primary schools, but very little for secondary schools. So we aim to really address that, and bearing in mind that you've got a massive market of students there, and from the stats at the top, only 37% 11 to 16 walk to school, only 2% cycle from the 2024 stats. So we've got a lot of possible modal shift that we can achieve, and we're hoping to achieve. We're funded by Active Travel England, and we work in partnership with Bikeability Trust and various other organisations as well. We're all about bringing people together and working together. So with the Walk Wheel Cycle Trust, with Living Streets, Bikeability, and so on. You've got the stats from last year of 6 regions, 19 local authorities and 94 participating schools, 1,246 ambassadors. This year we've gone up to an extra region, and we've gone up to more local authorities. We're aiming for 120 schools this year. So that's a little bit of the overview. And what we do is a behaviour change programme within schools, supporting groups of students who we train up to be ambassadors to deliver a behaviour change campaign within their school. So we support them, support their school staff to devise and deliver that campaign. It's very bespoke, depends on what the context is of the school, what the concerns are, what the travel data reveals. We work through the process generally in the sort of diagram you've got there of making sure everybody's comfortable, we know each other, do some research, find out what that picture is, use that to plan the campaign, and then what's coming up actually for Keith on Friday morning, and the reason why we weren't sure that he'd definitely be here to do this, a big campaign junction event where schools come together, pitch their ideas to experts on a panel in order to get funding for their campaigns. £200 with some bonus funding available as well. And then once they have achieved that, then they go away, promote, prepare, carry out their plans and evaluate. And you'll see it's kind of a circle. So we're into our 4th year, and we are trying to get schools to carry on that cycle. And as they move into sort of like being more experienced, we're getting them to think about having activities delivered all through the year, not just that sort of single campaign, but getting involved with lots of different things to keep promoting active travel, keep getting that modal shift. So it's really good in terms of addressing those travel issues, hopefully, and reducing the carbon footprint. It's also for ATAs themselves, fantastic for their experience. So there's lots of those soft skills, things that employers are looking at, things to write about in a personal statement, careers, education, sort of work experience through the process that we go through. There's an awful lot of compromise and teamwork as they decide on what they will actually do. They're looking at data to inform that decision and so on. You've got a quote there that I've included just as a reminder, as a sort of reminder for me to mention that we work in all kinds of settings. So we do work with SEND pupils as well. It's just the age that we're focused on of 11 to 18. And you can see there that we adapt our programme. We're as flexible as we can be, and working with school staff to make sure that everybody gets lots out of the programme. There's just a little bit there as well. So I was an English teacher, as I mentioned, so I'm really keen on the sort of like the presentation skills that the programme helps the students to develop, very much linking to GCSE spoken language. That's a compulsory part of the English GCSE language, that they get that qualification alongside their numbered grade. But you can see, depending on what they do, it depends what the links are, but certainly it goes with citizenship, maths and science, computer science and IT, geography. alongside the English, the media studies focus. But yeah, you've got that. It very much depends what they do. They might choose to be very, very artistic in what they do, and it's developing those art skills. But yeah, lots and lots of benefits for the pupils. And another benefit for the school is that you do get your STARS travel plan, help with that from the coordinator, and from what they're working on and doing with the students. There's lots and lots of evidence for the travel plan, which I'll explain a little bit more about, and think about why have one at your school. So yes, it's a package of actions designed to influence travel behaviour for the members and or visitors of a business, school and other organisation, because we are wide working those different areas. But the most important thing is that bit in the middle, that it is bespoke, so it's not set in any way, and it's a matter of recording the things that are relevant to you, recording the campaigns, the initiatives, all the different things that the group do, that the students, the ambassadors we're working with. So yes, in terms of why, lots of schools, obviously, and with your sustainability interest, it might be that you're focusing on environmental impact and making that difference in terms of air quality and carbon emissions, but also road safety concerns, improving students' mental and physical health, helping students to learn better, all of those things. So having the travel plan, it will help to, by increasing active travel, have that effect. For the school that I used to work in, it was very useful in talking to local residents about how we were trying to do things as well to address the concerns about parking and driving and congestion that came with the school run. And just that that kind of very definite link. I'm expecting that lots of you might be thinking about your climate action plan, and so it really does give you a specific structured framework which is there that you work with, and that the input into that you can then evidence of the work that you are doing to reduce those carbon emissions, particularly in relation to travel. This is just a little diagram of our delivery. We really are, it's very practical. We're all about what you're doing and then recording that. And it all works on a pathway where we start with getting started, finding out what we're doing, and working our way through all the way up to accreditation, which I'll mention something about in a moment. But once we've got to that stage, we're constantly reviewing and evaluating and monitoring, and it's very much an ongoing process. There's no particular beginning or end or kind of like start and finish times. It's very much up to you. Lots of schools work on that kind of academic year because that's what we're used to. But it can go on for as long as you like, and it can be short and long cycles as well, but continually kind of focusing on it. And out of it, you get your STARS accreditation level. Hopefully, it's really easy to get approved because that's your travel plan document where you're basically planning actions and talking about intentions. We hope that schools pretty easily can get to good by doing a hands-up survey and having data and having some initiatives they've delivered, and then higher up from that, the more you deliver and the more modal shift you achieve, you can get to very good and excellent and outstanding. And obviously what we do, what the students choose to do, supported by their staff, alongside lots of things you're already doing, you will climb this ladder, and it doesn't have to be the active travel ambassadors that's doing this. Primary schools obviously can be delivering lots of different initiatives as well. And just one last thing, another reason why we're a really busy team at the moment, we have an annual National STARS School Travel Plan Awards. So people who climb up high on those on the accreditation ladder get invited to the summit in London, and also we have a regional award in the autumn term as well, which are online awards. So there's lots of students love being celebrated and getting that sense of achievement, certificates and trophies and general celebration of the work that they are doing. All comes with Modeshift STARS. There will be, I think this will be shared afterwards. We've had two recent reports, and as you see, the bits that are underlined, they are links to the STARS and the ATA reports. Lots for us to shout about the impact that both programs have. So STARS generally work in education on travel plans and delivering those travel plans, and for ATA for the actual work in secondary schools with those groups of students. So some great numbers. We're really proud of the results and what those reports have shown. And you can have a look if you want some more detail afterwards. One thing that would really encourage you all to do, if you're not already in a school that is signed up to Modeshift STARS, to sign up there. And I will put in the chat afterwards the link that will take you to the website, and then it's the red box that you're looking for. It says register for STARS. It's a really simple process to sign up for that. And then you will get a password and a login. If you haven't already got one of those, there might be other people in your school that has that, but it's perfectly fine for you to have more than one user within a school, so you can join that up with there as well. It will look something like this with the dashboard that you get, just to give you a little taster of it. And it's really helpful to know that there are lots and lots of resources available to you, both on our website, so that's the image right on the left, but also within STARS, what I just showed you there. Underneath guidance resources, there's guidance dashboard, and it has things like this is actually on the website, but a video that's been recorded to explain how to get your introduction tab going and to sort of like start building up the information. It does take a little bit of time initially to get it set up, and then it's a matter of maintaining it, adding things as you are going along. And then the last thing, very quickly for me to mention, is something that is primary school specific, really, is fairly new active travel inspectors, so ATI instead of ATA resource. And you can see a little bit of a picture of some of those resources there. All of this is accessible from STARS again, so it's available if you've signed up to STARS and you've got access to that. Then within the resources you can get hold of everything to carry out active travel inspectors in your school. So it's aimed at older primary pupils, and it's that idea of giving pupils a voice in the same way that the ATA does in secondary schools. So it gets them to go out and be inspectors, to have a look at the infrastructure around the school, how easy it is to walk, to wheel, to cycle, looking at things like the pavement quality, the road crossings, street art that makes the area attractive. Yeah, and it's a nice little project for small groups. We recommend groups of up to 8 inspectors to carry out at Key Stage 2. Everything is there for you as school staff to be able to deliver that. There's guidance for you. There are classroom PowerPoint slides, and then there's kind of a worksheet that you take out and have a look at the environment around the school, fill in, put that onto our STARS system, and that collected data goes to the local authority. So you can get printable certificates as well, celebrating what you've done for the data that you've recorded, but the local authority get that information and are using it. I know that in my area, Birmingham, where I am, that's being used to think about which schools get funding for various kind of infrastructure projects as well. So it's something that is great fun for the pupils, and again useful for local authorities, and really great for all those skills developing as well. So next steps, if you haven't already, get yourself signed up to Modeshift STARS. I'll put that link in just a moment. So adding to your school travel plan, revisit it, make sure it's up to date if you've already got one. From there, download our ATI resources, give them a go. And Keith has put his email address in the chat. If you're interested as a secondary school in ATA, then please get in touch with Keith, and he will get back to you as soon as he can after campaign junctions are over in the next couple of weeks. Please be patient a little bit. We are one big team, Team Modeshift. I'll be handing over to Apple, who is also part of Team Modeshift in a moment, I think. You've also got the support for the system support, the star system address there, and general email queries go to admin at modeshift.org.uk. You can obviously contact me as well in terms of anything ATA, but it's probably sensible Keith's working in your area for him to be the first person that you get in touch with. And I hope hope that's been okay. If you've got any questions, I will stop sharing